In the next few minutes, we're going to take you through setting up iAllowance from scratch. Here's what you need to do. After installing iAllowance, go ahead and run it. The first thing that you're going to notice is it's going to come up with this welcome screen. We're going to say OK here, and what you're presented with is what we call the Setup Assistant. The Setup Assistant is going to help you set up iAllowance for you and your family. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask whether you want to load the sample child or not. If you don't want the sample child loaded, go ahead and unselect it. We're going ahead and keep it on here for now. Select Next. The first thing that you're asked to do is enter in your children. I'm going to go ahead and enter a couple of children. I'll enter a birth date. I'll add another child. Here you can also add a photo by tapping the photo. We'll select Next once we have our children added. Next, you're asked to set up the banks for iAllowance. By default, you're given several banks to start with: spending, savings, stars, time. You notice that each bank can be selected between money, stars, and time. To change a bank, simply just slide this slider over to change the bank type to whatever you need. In this case, we're going to go ahead and leave these just as is. But if I want to add another bank, I can go ahead and select another bank here. We're going to select Next. One of the key features of iAllowance is being able to set up repeating allowances that happen automatically for you. We're going to get started by adding one here. We're going to pick a start date. We'll pick today. We want this to happen every 2 weeks, so we'll set this slider to 2. We can choose between day, week, month, or year. This particular allowance I want to have pay stars, so every 2 weeks I want to give out 10 stars, or 5 stars. I can set up other allowances here if I want. We'll select Next. The next thing we're going to be asked to do is add chores. One of the key features of iAllowance is the ability to add chores so your kids can complete tasks, check them off, and earn stars, money, or time. Let's go ahead and add some chores. You're presented with a large list of chores to select from, and we're going to go ahead and pick a couple. You can see that we can select as many as you want, and if you want, you don't see the particular chore you want on the list, just select Custom Chore. Now you'll see here that we have all the chores that we selected set up. Let's take a look at one in a little more detail. We have a description, feed cat. We have when do we want this chore to be done. Right now it's set up for every day, and I can change this if I want. Once per day or multiple times per day. We're going to deposit or withdraw, and we're going to by default set up for a star bank of 1 star. If you want to change that to pay out in money, simply select money, and we're going to say every time that this is done, we're going to pay 10 cents. After we've added all the chores, we're going to say finish. And now you notice that we have the 2 children we added, Harrison and Elise. We also have the sample child, which also happens to be named Harrison. And you can see that all of our banks are set up. As well as the chores that we set up. Everything is ready to go. You're now ready to start adding transactions and doing what you need to do with iAllowance.